Hey everyone, this is Angelina Papazian with River of Life Coaching, and I am a spiritual life coach and a master of social work. And here in this channel, we talk about a variety of different things relating to psychology, spirituality, life, and philosophy, and what it is to be human. If you find any of the content of these videos to be helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I am also open to doing more one-on-one coaching sessions, and I'm also in the process of creating more courses and workshops. So if that is something you're interested, stay tuned for more. And without further ado, we are going to be talking today about trusting in the process of being single. So, when I say single, I am referring to not being in a committed romantic or sexual relationship with somebody. Now, for the purposes of this video, I want you to think more so romantic, because for many of us, we may have different beliefs on what is best for us when it comes to romantic relationships and sexual relationships. Some of you might only want to have sexual relationships if you are in a romantic committed partnership with somebody. Some people, that's not really your thing. You're a little bit more open to other avenues, and that's perfectly okay. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Each of us is different and are in different places in our life and have different needs and desires and interests, and some of us are in an exploratory phase. We're still figuring out what it is that we want, and all of that is perfectly valid, and we need to honor all of that. But some of us may feel like we've been single for a very long time, and we may really wonder, like, when am I going to meet my person? Who is this person that's out there? What are they like? What do they look like? Where am I going to find them? When am I going to find them? How am I going to find them? What are all the series of events on the bridge of incidents that have to happen before I actually meet this person? And sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating to be in that process. I can share from my own experience. There's always been in the back of my mind, like, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? How is this going to happen? And everything. And, I will share from my own experience that I used to be in that place where I felt like if I wasn't in a relationship or wasn't with somebody that was somehow a reflection of my worth as a person, it was somehow deficient or flawed, or I wasn't seen with as much respect or admiration if I wasn't in a relationship. It was such a status symbol. It was more so a way of feeling fulfilled and looking for somebody outside of myself to fulfill me in that way. And, there is some truth to relationships helping to meet certain needs that we have. Like, all relationships at the end of the day do meet some basic human need that we have. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is completely natural. But we want to be careful of really identifying and discerning if we're actually in a place emotionally to receive a relationship. Am I actually in a place where I can have a healthy relationship, or am I looking for this person to fulfill me and rescue me in a way, or make me happy, or meet all of my needs? We have to be really honest with ourselves on where we're at right now and what is actually going to be the best thing for us. Some of us may find that going a period of time being single might actually be the best thing for us in the long run, and it might be a hard pill for us to swallow if we're like, well, I really do want a relationship, but I might not be ready for this. There's no shame in that. If anything, more people should be doing that. More people would probably be better partners if they actually went through a long period of time single and really did the work and really did some soul searching to see what it is that they really want. And sometimes there can be some frustration to being single, not only from a loneliness aspect, but also from a feeling like your sexual needs aren't being met. If you're the type of person who only wants to have sexual relationships with people who you're in a committed relationship with, you may find that your sexual needs are not always being met, and that's okay. There are certain things that we can do to actually fulfill our sexual needs, but we may find that sharing that with another person might be a very different experience. So if you're in a place where you are in the waiting period of when you are going to find your partner, like if you take where you are now and where you're going to be, whenever that may be, if you find yourself you're in that waiting period, I want you to really think about what it is you're hoping to get out of that. What is it you really want? And get clear about where you're at. Are you ready for a relationship? Do you really want a relationship? How may your life change if you're in a relationship? for better or for worse. This isn't necessarily about, oh, I shouldn't want a relationship, or trying to dissuade you from being in a relationship and searching for that. But I say this because many of us may feel like we want something because we think it's going to make us happy. And then when we get that thing, it just becomes a new normal for us. Or it may bring on more challenges than we had anticipated, and we may even find that we wish we had our old life back. Or we might miss certain aspects of our old life. Maybe we love certain aspects of the new things that come to us, but we may also wish that things were a little bit easier. It's important to note that relationships are going to require work. They're going to require commitment, vulnerability, communication, time, energy, resources. They're going to require a certain amount of bandwidth. They're going to be requiring a certain amount of time management. Some of the time we may spend to ourselves, we may have to start to give to our partners. Is that something that you really want? This is not about dissuading you, but get very clear about whether or not you actually want a partner. Do you feel fulfilled in your life, in every area of your life, or most areas of your life? Are you actually working towards becoming a full and whole person? Do you think that you are ready to receive a relationship? Have you done the work to learn how to communicate? Do you know how to repair ruptures in relationships, because they're going to happen? Do you know how to listen? Do you know how to be vulnerable? Do you know how to cultivate intimacy? Do you know what questions to ask to get to know somebody better? Do you know how to date intentionally? Do you even know what kind of partner you want? Do you know what kind of character and what kind of traits they want? When you're in the process of dating, do you know how to actually vet these people out? Do you know how to vet people out in general and what to really look for? Do you know any red, orange, yellow, green flags in a person, in their mannerisms, in their behaviors, and in their character? Do you actually know what to look out for? Do you know what to say yes to, what to say no to? Do you actually know what you want? For example, do you want monogamy? Do you want non-monogamy? Do you want marriage and family and white picket fence? Or do you want a life partner? Or do you not want to get married or commit in that way? Do you want to live in the same place together eventually? Or do you want to have your own space and your own privacy and autonomy and independence? We got to get really clear about what it is that we want. And sometimes when we're meeting people and when we're in the process of dating, or if we're in a current relationship, sometimes it can be really hard to get very clear about what we want. A lot of times relationships will also teach us what we want and what we don't want when we really listen and are really intentional about seeing reality and what we're experiencing and what data we're being given, what our emotions are telling us. Being single sometimes can be hard, and sometimes it can be easy, and sometimes it can feel lonely, and sometimes it can feel freeing. And each of us experience our own things in this chapter of our lives. There's so many different things relating to relationships and singlehood, and there's so many different things relating to dating and how to actually vet people out, and how to actually be intentional about it, and how to actually discern what it is that's best for you and what's most aligned for you. And there's a lot to it. Relationships can bring so many great and beautiful things in our life. Relationships in general. Relationships can also be challenging and will also force us to grow and evolve and change if we're really being intentional about it and really do value growth. Relationships that don't grow may not last a long time, and something we have to accept is that not every relationship is going to last forever. There are relationships that last only for a period of time, like a season. There are relationships that last for a reason to teach us certain things, and there are relationships that might last for a lifetime. And each of them have their own value and their own purpose in our life. When we really get clear about doing the work and we really are intentional about doing the work, every single one of our relationships can bring some kind of value and purpose and meaning into our life. Many of them can be enriching and fulfilling. Some of them might be dysfunctional and might really show us what it is that we need to work on. Some of them may show us what we no longer want to be like, what we no longer want to accept, All of that is valuable too. But we want to get clear about why we want to be in a relationship. Do we want to be in a relationship just to have a warm body next to us? Do we want to be in a relationship because we really want to grow and evolve? Do we want to be in a relationship because we just want to share our life and our time with somebody? Do we want to be in a relationship just to have fun? Do we want to be in a relationship to have our sexual needs met? Do we want to be in a relationship to explore things with and to have a buddy for things that we do? Ask yourselves that. No shame or blame. No one way is better than the other. Each person is different. What might work for me might be different than what works for my friend. What might work for them might be different than what works for you. And none of them are good or bad or right or wrong. We each have to just know what it is that we want and really be intentional about it. And be clear and honest with ourselves and the people who we come in contact with. If you find that you want to be in a relationship right now, what things are you doing that are helping you to meet new people? For example, are you sitting at home watching TV hoping that someone's just going to knock on the door and then Prince Charming's right there? How well is that going to work? Are you on dating apps right now? And if you are on dating apps, are you actually practicing safe behaviors? Are you actually being safe about this? Are you actually getting second opinions from people who you trust who might be wiser and more experienced on this? Are you actually taking good suggestions from this? Are you actually making good decisions on this? Are you being intentional about the kind of questions that you want? If we want to get really clear, what does your dating profile look like? How are you actually vetting these people out? How are you actually saying yes and no to these people? What are you saying yes and no to, and why? Have you really done the work before getting into dating? Are you meeting people in community? Are you actually going out and meeting new people in your area that might have similar interests as you? Maybe that's somebody at a church group, maybe that's somebody at a meetup group, maybe that's somebody at like a focus kind of group. There's so many different things. Really think about what are some of the things that you enjoy doing and place yourself in groups in your area that are related to that practice that, if that's available to you. You might find that you meet somebody when you least expect it. You might find that it comes when you're hoping for it. Everybody's experience is different. You might find them on a dating app. You might find them through a friend. You might find them through a series of events that happen. There's no way of really telling unless you're a mind reader or a fortune teller, which I am not, just to be very clear. I don't even know what it is going to be for me or what the future holds for me. But something I do know is that regardless of whether or not I'm single or partnered with somebody, there's still a lot of value to my life, and I have a full life. I have relationships with people who love and care about me. I have communities and groups that I'm part of that are aligned with my values and interests. I have time that I spend to myself to nourish myself and to do things that are aligned with me and what I want in my life. I do things that are nourishing for me and that make me content and at peace and happy overall. I know how to do the work. I know how to manage my emotions better. I know how to sit with my emotions and accept them, whatever they may be. I have family to spend time with and to share my life with. I have a very full life, and I'm always evolving and changing and growing. And that's a beautiful part of doing this work and a beautiful part of living and existing, regardless of whether I'm partnered or not. So if you're wondering when your partner is going to come, what they're going to look like, what they're going to be like, where you're going to meet them, when you're going to meet them, I want you to focus instead on what partner am I becoming today? Who am I becoming today? Am I capable of being the kind of partner that I want? What traits do I want in a partner, and do I myself have those traits? Am I cultivating that? Where this isn't about becoming a perfect person or a 100% healed person or a flawless human being. It's not what this is about. What this is about, though, is am I actually being clear and intentional and showing up in the way that I want others to show up for me? And those types of behaviors can last us throughout all kinds of relationships, whether they're romantic, sexual, platonic, familial, whatever it may be. Think too, your partner, potential partner, future partner, They may also be wondering if they're ever going to meet you. They may not know you. They may not know what you look like or what you are like, or where they're going to meet you, when and how, and all the things that are going to happen to make you meet. They may currently be in a relationship right now, and that relationship is teaching them things that will help to prepare them to be a better match for you. They may also be in a period of singlehood where they're currently doing the work and becoming the better versions of themselves to receive you. Have you ever thought about that? So, enjoy this time. Enjoy this season. I know it's not always easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you. Sometimes there were times where being single felt lonely, and it felt as if certain needs were not being met. But what I found was that the more I poured my energy into myself and my groups and my community and the things that actually mattered to me, and the more I went through the grief and the loss process, and the more I allowed myself to feel my emotions and to really do the work that was getting and doing the work to heal what was getting in the way of me being able to have loving and committed relationships with people in general, the more I was able to find that I actually had a beautiful life exactly as it is, and that a relationship is an addition to my life, not the end all be all. A relationship is supposed to add to our lives. A relationship is not supposed to be the sole source of our life. You are a whole, lovable, beautiful, worthwhile person exactly as you are, regardless of whether you are single or not. So keep this in mind. Think about what you want to do differently. Think about what you're doing well on. Think about what you can do to actually become better prepared to receive a good partner. Think about what it is you really want. And honestly ask yourself if you can actually walk away from something that you know is not aligned for you. Do you have a strong enough sense of self and trust in yourself and trust in the process to know that you can walk away from something that is not aligned for you because you trust that something else will be there to take its place, and that you may not know when or where or how, and it may feel frustrating and it may be impatient sometimes? Can you actually trust that regardless of how things end up, you'll be okay, and that you still have a good, worthwhile life? If you found this video to be helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos and contents on all sorts of things relating to life and what it is to be human. And stay in tune for more courses and workshops, and message me directly if you're interested in one-on-one coaching. And have a good week.